Hey bestie, hi, how are ya? In today's video, I'm going to share my fall readathon. You know, that fall readathon you've been waiting for? Bestie, as you know, or may not know, if you're new here, hi, how are ya? I thrive, okay? I thrive in the fall, especially in October. You don't even understand. Like, this is my time of the year. This is the time where I am just super happy, super excited. So what better way to enhance that with a fall readathon?
I'm a mouse. Duh.
So my fall readathon is called Autumn Leaves and Scary Please, and I do it every year because, I mean, why not, right? Just why not? I'm going to go over each prompt and talk to you a little bit, you know, to give you an idea of what it is. There's some prompts that I kept because I just love those prompts. I mean, come on. And then there's new ones that I added. Since I'm a little late with this readathon and I'm starting it in October instead of September, we're just gonna make things a little bit easier, okay? Just a little bit. But yeah, I'll talk more about that later on in the video when I explain the rules. But right now, let's dive into these prompts. But first, I'm gonna need my handy dandy notebook. So the first prompt is thankful for you, and that hurt my thumb. That hurt my thumb. You see, bestie, the love. But we'll get over it. So yeah. Thankful for You is a book by your favorite author or your favorite book. Well, not a book by your favorite book author. What? Hold up. Okay. A book by your favorite author. Yes. And then a book that's a favorite from your favorite booktuber, your favorite book talker, Instagrammer, or one that they recommend. And I mean, bestie. Who do you think I'm trying to say? Where do you think I'm getting at? Okay? Me. Let's just do me. I'm your favorite booktuber. So therefore, a book that I recommend. I mean, hello, it is my readathon. So why not? No. But you know, you could do anybody you want. But in reality, do a book that I recommend. Okay? Okay. Next up is Thrills and Chills. So that one is pretty easy. It's like read a thriller or read a book that gave you chills, but that would be like after the fact. So we'll just stick with thrillers unless you read a book that gave you chills, and then you can use that for this prompt. But yeah, you decide what you want to do. Okay. Next is sweat. Why can I never say that? I had a problem saying it last year and now I'm having a problem again this year. Okay, brain, let's function. Let's pronounce words correctly. Sweater, weather. There we go. I just got to say it slow. Yeah, that one is all things fall. So it could be a fall cover, a fall title, a fall setting. You know, basically things that revolve around fall, but in a book.
Oh my God! Wow!
Yeah. Culture love. This one is one that I kind of switched up a little bit. Read a book by a Latinx author or an indigenous author. I kind of switched that one up because sometimes it's hard finding an indigenous author because there's quite a few Latinx authors, so that one is a little bit easier. I realized from last year that people did have problems with finding an indigenous author or even finding an indigenous author that they didn't read. So yeah, I just included it and smashed it in. But it was also to include other new prompts. So there's also that. But yeah, you get the drift. Moving on. Another new prompt, read outside. So who doesn't love the fall weather? Who doesn't love the outdoors? Okay, so I love the fall weather, but I'm not big on being outside with society and dealing with people. So this kind of forces it, okay? There's only like one favorite person of mine that I like being outside with. So he knows who he is. Yeah, read outside. I won't read outside with him, but I'm gonna have to schedule a day where I'll read outside by myself. And just thinking about that is scary. Now I'm thinking, Ginnie, why did you put this prompt in here? You know what? It's all about the challenge. We can do this, bestie, okay? We got this. We can actually step foot outside and read and be maybe around society just for a little bit. Yeah, Of course I had to keep this prompt. Like, I was so hype about it last year. And that one is Eerie-sistable. Yes. Yeah, you remember, bestie, right? Okay. So this one is scary cover or a scary title. And I found one that could kind of be maybe considered a scary title. The Weight of Blood. Maybe. Listen, okay, it just has blood in the title and I'm just like, okay, yes. Oh, wait, another one that could be considered, ow, keep using my thumb. Haunting Adeline, because you know, Haunting, it even is like a creepy, scary looking cover. I mean, to me, it's not a scary cover, but to you, it might be, you know? Sweet as Candy Romance, because I mean, you need a little bit of balance, right? So that one is basically read a romance. It could be any genre, it could be, you know, whatever, as long as it's romance. Yeah. Next up is watch a scary movie, and you know that I'm excited for that, bestie. You already know, because I watch scary movies. I mean, I watch scary movies all year round, but in October it hits different. In October, the scary movies are everything, especially when you watch Halloween on Halloween. I mean, who doesn't want to see this man? All right, you know, maybe it's just me, but I'm sure there's other people like me. I mean, look, he's on my shirt again. I think I'm going to keep this a thing. Every time I do the fall readathon, Michael is on my shirt. Yeah. Next prompt, which is another new one, is Spooktacular. For that one, is basically read a book that gives like spooky vibes, read a horror. If you already read a book and you felt like it was spooky, it was atmospheric, it was, you know, it gave you spooky vibes, because I don't know what else I want to say there. Okay? Yeah. You just, let's move on, because my brain is like, yeah. This is another new one that I really like the name. He's gonna make fun of me, I know it. Okay, so this is another new one that I really like the name, and it's Just a Bite. Because I mean, come on, we need to read more vampires.
Do we?
Probably not, but I like vampires. I'm reading quite a few vampire books, so it had to be a prompt. Why not? Who doesn't like vampires? Let me give you a little teaser. I may, sort of, might be, maybe, I don't know, could be reading Twilight.
It's 2 a.m.
It's like diamonds.
Oh, God. Let me stop thinking about it and let's move on. Okay, so another new one is Fall Treat. And this one is basically like, I mean, you get it, right? Eat a fall treat. So like something that only comes out in the fall. You know, Halloween candies, even though candies all year round, and most of the time they just have a wrapper wrapped around it with like Halloween stuff. Or they might just change the shape of like the candy into like a pumpkin or a ghost or something like that. But you know what? It's okay. That still counts, because that's still in the spirit of Halloween. So yeah, it's okay. I wasn't kind of ranting there. Maybe I was. I don't know. Or Halloween type cookies. I know they have fall cookies too that people specifically make in the fall time. I don't know. I mean, maybe like pumpkin cookies. I don't know. And then there's also things like pie, because you know, most of the time things like pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie, apple pie is like, it just hits in the fall. And a lot of times that's in the main time that, you know, you see those type of pies around. Apple pie is like an all year round thing, but everything else isn't. Oh, another fall treat is candy apples. Okay, besties, that's like my crack in the fall. I just have to have a candy coated or caramel apple. Just speaking of it, is like, I have one in the fridge right now and it's calling me, and I already ate like probably like 8 so far since I seen them in the supermarket in September. Listen, again, I thrive for this stuff, so let me be. Next prompt is, now I know my ABCs. And this one was, one that I was ranting and raving about last year. So basically a title that begins yeah, a title that begins with win. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's do that again. A title that begins with S, O, or N. And the S is for, September. The O is for October. And the N is for November. So basically, you're just going to look for a title that, begins with those letters. One that comes to mind right now is S, Slewfoot. Or what would be O? Okay, so O doesn't come to mind right now at all. Even me looking over here at my books, there's like really no O's that's popping out. But anyways, we're skipping O right now. And maybe in the server, which by the way, you can join my server. I'll have everything linked down below, and my Patreon linked down below. But there's Nosferatu. Even though that one kind of takes place around Christmas, this would be perfect around December. So we'll leave that for December. But another one that comes to mind is November 9. And look at that. It has the whole month. Next up is Enter If You Dare. So if you've been afraid to pick up a certain book because whatever reason, you got your reasons. It could be because it's going to make you cry. It could be because it's scary. It could be because it's out of your genre. It could be because it's out of your comfort zone. If you're afraid to read it, well, bestie, you have no choice. Read it. I mean, you do have a choice still, but this prompt kind of gives you the motivation you need to read it. So read it. Okay, so next up is another new prompt, and that is Paranormal Activity. I mean, this one was kind of like, it came to mind out of nowhere because of the movie. And actually, I think it was because I was talking to my boo. Yeah. And then I just thought like, ooh, that would make a good prompt. And it sounds nice. So, Paranormal Activity. Basically, read a book with paranormal or supernatural activity. Yeah. So when I say paranormal, we're talking about vampires, werewolves, witches, monsters, aliens. And I think that's all, because that's all I could remember in this moment. And when we're talking supernatural, we're talking about spirits, ghosts, superpowers. I think maybe demons fall under there. Angels, I think. Well, yeah. It's gonna fall under there regardless because I said so. But yeah, so when I think of superpowers, the first book that comes to mind, and of course it has to be a horror and it has to be a Stephen King book, duh, is Carrie. Yeah, because like that's like a superpower in a sense. She has the ability to move things with her mind. She has telekinesis. There you go. You're welcome.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Another new one is Always Listening. And I just thought that was like pretty clever. Listen, okay, bestie, it's pretty clever to me. Just saying. Because when you think of like Halloween and the fall time, well, mainly October and Halloween, and you think of somebody always listening, or you're always like scared of something and you're listening to see like what you hear. So with that prompt, is basically listen to an audiobook. You see? It works. Next is Disability Visibility. November is Epilepsy Awareness Month. And of course, if you don't know, well, now you know, I have epilepsy and my disability is invisible. It doesn't visibly show, but there are a lot of things going on inside in my head. Listen, I swear I'm normal. Okay, so that's not like, your regular person, I guess. You know what? We're not explaining that. That prompt is disability rep or an author with a disability. So the one that comes to mind, actually, oh my God, it came to mind, but then it also left the mind.
Come on, think about it. You're 18, okay? She's 44. When you're 36, she's gonna be 88.
Oh, the kiss quotient. Brownie points to you for that. Because if you read that, or Act Your Age, Eve Brown, if you read any of those, that's like double the points. Because, I mean, you have the character that has some form of like disability, and the author that also lives with a disability. So yeah, we also have Uncover the Mystery, which is literally what it says. Just be like Sherlock Holmes and read a mystery and try to solve it. You know, do what you do when you read mysteries. Read in the dark. I mean, bestie, I'm sure you're over here saying,
but Ginnie, how are we gonna read in the dark? How are we gonna see the words? How? Like, I mean, what?
Okay, yeah, I get it. But, you know, there's things called a Kindle. You could read in the dark with your Kindle. You know what I think is cool? Reading in the dark with your blankets like over your head and then like with a flashlight or some form of like light. That's like so cool to me. So I might do that. But you do you. If you want to cheat and do reading in the dark with a Kindle, ooh. Do you. No judgment. I promise. Okay, so next one is Class is in Session. And basically it's a book that taught you something. And that goes with the whole nonfiction November. You know, even though there's fictional books that could teach you something too. Like it could teach you a lesson. It could teach you something about a culture. You know, there's things that even fictional books can teach you. So you're not just obligated to a nonfiction book, because I get it, bestie. I get it. Sometimes nonfiction can be just meh. I mean, I'm still reading a nonfiction book that I've been reading for like, I don't know how long I've been reading that book. I don't even know if I started it last year, if I started in the beginning of this year. I don't know. But I get it. Sometimes nonfiction is just like, I don't really want to read that. But there's also self-help. There's also memoirs. There's also...
But I mean, who wants to read science books, or who wants to really read like history books?
You could read historical fiction, historical fantasy. I mean, they usually have some facts of things that happened in the past. So you see, you gotta just work your way around it. Yeah. You know, I got you, bestie. Next one is TBR Leftovers. And I love the way that sounds because, you know, the whole thing of like, I mean, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, the whole thing of that is that you always have leftovers and you take leftovers home.
I am the one, the way your son don't...
So with TBR Leftovers, it's to read a book that's been sitting on your TBR like from the previous month or the month before that or the month before that or the year before that. That's just been there chilling, just waiting for you to read it again. Or you can also read a book that's been on your TBR for like over 2 years. We're trying to get those old books out of here. Yeah, you're welcome. Next is drink a fall drink. I mean, who doesn't want to have the okay to do that? You see, bestie, I'm giving you the okay. I'm enabling you to drink that fall drink. And I will highly recommend the one from Starbucks, because you know I'm a Starbucks girly. You know I'm bougie like that. I am willing to pay like $7-8 for a drink. Yeah. The one I highly recommend is called Apple Crisp something latte something. It's literally like a long title. So I think I have it saved in my notes because there is a video that I might put out because it's kind of late for it, but I still might put it out because I mean, I busted my ass with recording those videos. So the name will just be here. Yeah, that drink. Even though you're like a drink with apple, even though there's a thing called apple cider, so why not? But yeah, just drink a full drink. Let me stop rambling. Next one is Hocus Pocus, and you already know, bestie, that's like pretty self-explanatory. Read a book about witches, spells, magic, anything that has to do with that kind of realm, you know, Read that. Chillin' like a villain. I mean, you know I love villains, so there was no way that a villain type prompt was not gonna make its way into my readathon. So literally that's read a villain story, you know, anything that's like based on the villain. Next up is family blessings, and that is read something that centers around family, whether that's visiting family, found family, family drama, which we all love, but maybe just me. As long as it doesn't involve me, like in real life me drama. I don't need that in my life. We don't need no drama in our lives. But reading it or seeing it on TV, I love it. Okay, bestie. So prompts complete. Now let's dive into the rules. So the rules is not nothing too crazy because the point of this readathon is to have fun. Okay? Okay. This readathon, it usually runs from September all the way to November or December, depending, because you know technically the last day of fall is December 21st. So it's really up to you if you want to keep it going all throughout. I am, because I'm going to enjoy fall as much as I can, even though technically once December hits, you're starting to get into that, you know, Merry Christmas, holly jolly mood. I mean, I get in the holly jolly mood, but then it makes me sad too, because it makes me sad that fall is over. But it's gonna run from October till November 30th, or if you're gonna be like me, till December 21st. I don't know if I would be okay with you adding things you read in September, because it's like technically we're starting it now in October, so I'm not gonna allow that. But like whatever you finished in October, that's perfectly fine. That's why this year I decided to add prompts that were like easy to kind of do, like drink a fall drink, fall treat, watch a scary movie. I mean, I get it, for some people that's not an easy thing to do, but hey, that's the point of a challenge. But you know what, if you're a person that doesn't read much, I'll allow you to add a book, you know, books from September. Like for example, if you only read 2 books a month, you know, I'm okay with that. But if you're a avid reader and you could finish like 10, 20 books in a month, no, okay? That doesn't apply to you, okay? The challenge for you starts in October, okay? Okay.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
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 There is a bingo board, because as you know, I always gotta have those cutesy things. So this year I switched it up and it looks like this. Isn't that cute? It's so adorable. I love it. I love the little ghost. Oh, it's so cute. Anyways, you know, the whole point of this readathon is kind of like a bingo. You know, you just fill up the board and have bingos, you know? Yeah. Yeah. You just fill up the board as much as you can, whether you're focusing on one row or you're like trying to just get as many as you can, fill up the whole board, you know? Speaking of filling up the whole board, this is like how the setup, I guess, is. If you get 1 bingo, that's a one-liner. If you get 2 bingos, that's double trouble. If you get 3 bingos, that's a triple threat. And if you fill up the whole board, if that's your goal, then you're a bingo superstar.
You were competing against a
Yeah, like that. If you need things easier, you can always include what you read in September. Or you could also double the prompts, you know, but just doubling. No tripling, no quadrupling, no, none of that. If you need more of a challenge, don't double the prompts, obviously. Or you could limit only to like a horizontal and vertical bingo, not like the diagonal ones. Also, you could limit yourself to only one genre. That's definitely a challenge. So, you know, the point is like, this is to have fun. Leave it up to you how you want to do things. So yeah, let's have fun and happy reading. Bye.
Drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs. If you do them, you're bad. Because drugs are bad, okay? It's a bad thing to do drugs, so don't be bad by doing drugs, okay? That'd be bad. Drugs are bad, okay?